Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the house as I'm getting a spam call. Thanks.
Our house.
Phenomenal timing. Today, you obviously have me, Dom. We have Jake.
What's up?
Wow, look at that. That's funny. I could put it right in your camera. And we have it's not a special guest, but we have Will.
I mean, my mom says I'm special, so it's okay.
There you go.
The ambitious crossover episodes.
Yeah. Ambitious.
The original episodes.
Yeah. Honestly, that's very true.
For the real OGs.
For the real OGs that have been following us for 3 years.
3 or 4 years. Yeah.
It's 3 years. Jesus
3 years.
Lord.
At least we kind of have it figured out after that amount of time. If you do not know already, you can join all of us, everyone that you ever see on our shows on Sundays. Will is actually the one who hosts, organizes, arranges, and
Head honcho. Yeah.
Head honcho of that Sunday pregame show, which is when, Will?
Sundays at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Apparently, the time is very hard to remember.
So that's on Sundays, that's what we do, and we talk about the Sunday games going ahead of us, and we'll does that stuff.
I'll eventually be there, I guess.
But yeah, so here we are right now. My phone's all kinds of weird right now. I don't know what's going on. The spam call really messed with me. And today we are going to talk about our player award predictions that we brought up before the season started. And we're going to kind of check in on those. And we're going to, because some of them are probably way off and some of them are right on the dot so far. So what we're going to do, the three of us are going to give each prediction a 1 out of 5 rating. 5 being, okay, that's very likely to happen. They might get that award. And 1 being, yeah, not a chance. You probably shouldn't even have picked them. All right. So let's start. Let's start in the very beginning. We'll start with me because that's left to right on the document that I'm reading. And actually me and Jake for MVP award picked Tom Brady. So since me and Jake picked Tom Brady, I'm sure we'd like to give that a solid 5. Will, what do you think about that?
I'll give it a 4.5. Okay. I'll give it a 4.5. I'm not gonna there's no such thing as a perfect 5. Okay.
So Will's not
until the award's given, there's no perfect 5. Okay. But it's a very solid pick. I mean, he's number 2 in passing yards, and he has 9 touchdowns on the year already, passing 10 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown.
I think it was 9 touchdowns after 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah. Then he threw one, and he rushed for 1, so he's 11 total on the year.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Brady
is inner Lamar.
Yeah, he's having a great year so far, and I was saying I really think that he's going to have the best year of his career this year. So I think he's actually on pace for that. Maybe. So
I think he's more than on pace for his best year.
I mean, we're only 3 weeks in, but yes. Josh and Will both picked Josh Allen. I
didn't pick Josh. I did. Oh.
No
way. No, I picked Justin Herbert. He messed with me on that one. I picked Justin Herbert.
Then blame Josh.
I do.
Yeah, I blame Josh because I picked Justin Herbert on mine. I did not even pick him.
Josh picked Josh Allen, and I think that's a solid 4. No? What do you guys think?
He hasn't shown enough.
3.
I mean, he could beat bad opponents. He could beat bad teams. But the Steelers, he was just abysmal. He just wasn't there.
That was week 1. I mean, he's had better weeks since so far. So, I mean, it's up there. It's definitely up there. Then Jacob went with Matt Stafford. I know Jake has an opinion on Matt Stafford.
No.
What would you give it out of 1 to 5, Jake?
3.
Okay. I mean, that's solid. Will?
I'll give it a 4.25. Listen, he's playing some of his best ball, okay? He's up there. I mean, he's in the top 10 passing yards conversation, but he's balling right now. I mean, him and Cooper Kupp, that's probably the best the best quarterback wide receiver combo in the league right now.
I mean,
it gives me the eye roll over there.
Cooper Kupp's got the most yards. How many touchdowns does he have, Will?
I think he has like 3 or 4. I think he
That's
definitely has
pretty good.
4.
That's pretty good. If I had to give it 1 to 5, Matt Stafford, I'd give it like a 3.5. How about that? I think that's solid.
That's a respectable one.
It's respectable, I guess. And then Will went with Justin Herbert, as we kind of spoiled before. Which, I mean, dude, it's up there, right?
He's doing good.
What would you give it, Will?
Right now, I'll give it about a 3.5. The refs kind of screwed him week 2, so he had a better game against the Chiefs.
It's true.
I'd say he's a better pick for it right now than Matt Stafford is. Yeah, I say he's somewhere in between Allen, Stafford, and Brady. So like 3.5.
Yeah, I think he pushes up 4 out of 5. You know, I think it's up there. It's pretty likely that he can make it happen. Then we got Offensive Player of the Year, and this one just took a little bit of a hit. 3 of us chose Christian McCaffrey, me, Jake, and Jacob, and I don't know. Now that he's going to be out, what, 2 or 3 weeks now? Is that what they're saying?
3?
3?
At least 3.
At least 3 weeks. I mean, he had solid numbers before. I don't know.
He would have been a 5 if he hadn't gotten hurt.
I think so. I think it's up there. Offensive Player of the Year.
I'd say a 2.
That's tragic, honestly. That's so tragic.
I'll give it a 2.5.
You missed 3 games, now you're going to be behind. You know, all the guys like Cook and Henry.
Dalvin's out.
I mean, that's your best shot is if you lead the league in rushing, have some touchdown numbers, and a quarterback wins MVP, so you win the.
Yeah. Did Derrick Henry win Offensive Player of the Year last year?
I believe he did.
Didn't he?
No.
I don't remember.
No, I think Henry did because Henry had just over 2,000.
Yeah, there's no way he didn't with that amount of yards. I mean, Derrick Henry's on a great pace again this year. And surprisingly, none of us picked Derrick Henry. But back-to-backs on Offensive Player of the Year are kind of
You know what? I have to go back to Josh's comment on here because I did pick Josh Allen. He reminded me because I thought I was full Justin Herbert, but I actually did pick Josh Allen. I did pick Josh Allen. So I'll call my bluff here. I'll give Josh the benefit of the doubt because, you know, Josh is going to bring this to the grave on this one. That he was right on this. So I'll give him that.
All right. So Christian McCaffrey, what would you say? How likely is it that he could still win Offensive Player of the Year, Will?
If he stays healthy, I mean,
after the 3 weeks.
After the 3 weeks, I mean, that's all if he stays healthy. I mean, let's look at what the Rams offense will do without him. If they are going to be dropping games and their offense going to look kind of abysmal, then if he's going to come back and put up the numbers he's been putting up, okay, yeah, I can see him being Offensive Player of the Year.
What do you think right now? If you had to give it a 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5 on the pick, or like if he will go back and win it?
If we'll go back and win it.
I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3 at the moment.
I think 2.5 is pretty solid. Next we have Josh went with Patrick Mahomes. Do we have quarterback?
Yeah, that's that for the sole reason that he has a quarterback MVP and a quarterback Offensive Player of the Year. It's a 1.
Do we have quarterback though? Do like double quarterback awards? Is that something that we usually have?
They happen, but it's very rare unless the running back's going to win a significant award. That's the only way.
Yeah.
It's only if there's no good running backs and then there's 2 like quarterback MVP candidates. That's the only way 2 quarterbacks go on those 2.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Patrick Mahomes so far this year is not in the conversation right now, right?
No, it's a 1.
He's not looking that well.
Well, Josh is in the comments, so you can.
Yeah,
I think it's a 1 because the logic's not there, and he's actually not even having an MVP year right now.
I know it's an interesting year for Patrick Mahomes.
Someone that took him in the second round of fantasy, Jake. How are you feeling right now about this?
Well, he's doing okay fantasy wise.
Awards. He sucks. Okay.
Well,
he'll always do okay.
You can't throw picks every week and then win.
Yeah. You got to win games too.
Exactly. You can't also be 1-2.
You have to win, and yeah, like you said, he's 1-2 so far. What about Camaro? Will went with Alvin Camaro, which has Alvin Camaro.
I don't know what he's doing right now. I have to look up his stats.
I mean, he's had I think 2 good weeks. Well, he had a. Oh, okay. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, that's bad.
It's not good, huh?
I have to go on to like
I have him in fantasy, and
NFL.com.
I'll say on fantasy he had 2 good weeks.
Nah, rushing he has 177 yards. At the receiving 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, at the pace right now, it's okay. It's not a good one. It's okay.
It needs to be picked up a little bit if you want that award.
I'll give myself 2 3/4 on that one.
That's fair.
It's fair than
That's fair. Defensive player of the year. I don't even want to talk about mine, to be honest with you, because mine's trash. Mine's Devin White, and that's just
Jacob's yelling at me.
That's pointless. Devin White. That's like a 1. You know, that's not happening. Jake and Will went TJ Watt. Oh, that's rough too.
Apparently, he's going to return this week, so
that means he only missed what, 2 games?
1 game.
1 game. That was it.
Game. Yeah. So there's a sliver of hope.
I think there's more than a sliver of hope for TJ Watt.
There's a sliver. Nothing more. Nothing
I think
less.
it's a solid pick for both of you. Then Josh chose Chase Young.
Hasn't done anything.
Yeah, that whole Washington.
Rashawn Slater shut him down week 1.
It's crazy. That whole Washington defense or Washington defensive line's been like kind of quiet, to be honest, which is rare for them. And then Jacob went with Aaron Donald, which is always like Aaron Donald's number 1 all the time.
He's just gonna win it every year. I mean, they just hand it to him.
Yeah, someone's got to pick Aaron Donald.
Like TJ Watt should have won it the last 2 years.
Yeah, but Aaron Donald. Then we have offensive rookie of the year. I chose.
I'm giving us all a 1. They're bad. Giving us all a 1.
You get a 0. Zach Wilson gets a 0.
Will chose Zach Wilson. I
had to get my homer pick somewhere.
Jake went Justin Fields. That's not looking too pretty yet. Josh and Jacob went Najee Harris, which I mean, I think he's the most possible, to be honest. Though
we can give that one a 2.
Yeah, I think so. I think
for Josh a 1.75. Don't want to give him more. Jacob will give it 2.
And mine was Mac Jones. Who you guys think is right now? If you were to take an offensive rookie of the year, who would it be?
God,
I don't even know who's.
I'd like to pass on this question, please.
Oh, Rondale Moore.
But he didn't have a good week last week. I know
he had 1 game.
It's better than most of the other players.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
What? Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase is the front runner for sure. Well, for sure. He's had a touchdown every week, right?
Yeah, and he had. I think they're all 30+ yard touchdowns. It's like some stupid, just specific record, which I'm not a fan of.
Absolutely.
He's been so good already that I forget he's a rookie.
I forgot that I grilled them in the preseason.
Oh, everyone did, dude. Everyone did. Defensive rookie of the year. Oh boy. All right, 2 of you, Josh and Will, chose Micah Parsons, which now that he's moved over to that spot, defensive end, I mean, he's looked a lot better. Jake, how was he in the Eagles game?
Oh, he murdered us.
Yeah, right? I mean, he's had great play since he moved to the defensive end spot. He might be, I mean...
Right now, he's the front runner.
I would think so, right? Who else is in there?
Oweh. But...
yeah. Not as much as Micah Parsons, though.
I would have said J.C. Horn before he got hurt.
Exactly. I would have said J.C. Horn if he had not gone.
That was Jake's pick, is J.C. Horn, and that was a great pick
couple picks, some tackles for loss.
Yeah.
At corner.
Yeah. And then that was so unfortunate. And I picked Patrick Surtain, but okay.
Is he even really on the field that much?
I don't know. I haven't noticed any difference. He had an interception, I think, in garbage time in one of the games, but that was it.
Against Jacksonville.
Yeah. And then Jacob, if I'm gonna hear Jake or I'm gonna hear Will pronounce that name.
Oh, I have to
That's
look
actually
over
really
at this.
I'll regret this.
Oh God. Owusu Kamora.
Jake, that's not correct. I know that because we'll put the R and the M in two different places, but it's okay. It's all right.
I still need that pronunciation episode of hockey.
You do.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, JOK was not a great pick.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think Jacob tried to go a little off the beaten path on that
a
one.
middle linebacker who is mostly just plays in space and doesn't really rush the passer all that much doesn't have a great chance of winning.
Comeback player of the year. Two of us chose Christian McCaffrey, me and Jake, and that's still possible, definitely.
Double comeback player.
And then Josh and Jacob both went with Dak, which is I feel like right now the obvious one.
That's
right?
a 5.
Yeah.
He's a shoe-in at the moment.
Yeah. And then
Had to get the homer pick in there.
well, went with CJ Mosley, which I'm gonna be honest.
0.
Yeah,
He's been playing really well this year.
he has.
Right. Right. I don't get to do Jet games that often. Okay?
Is this you trying to talk yourself into it?
He's been doing good this year, right?
Right. I hope.
And coach of the year is where it gets kind of
24 tackles. There you go.
24 tackles already, huh?
Yeah.
I think that could earn him comeback player of the year, obviously.
More than his 9 tackles from year 1.
Oh, well, okay. Coach of the year. Let's go with Will first. Brandon Staley, which honestly, at the pace they're going, is not a bad pick.
That's the best one on the board.
Listen,
so.
You got McDermott, you got McVay. They both already won it. Like, they've been to the playoffs last year. What do they have to prove? They have nothing to prove.
Yeah.
Why not pick a rookie head coach who could bring his team to the postseason, if everything just goes the way it does? I mean, they're going pretty well, so that's why I had to go off and pick them.
Jake went with Belichick, which I liked before, but now I feel like there's not a chance,
If they make the playoffs, they'll win it.
I think if they make the playoffs and wins, I think if they win the division, he would win it. But that's the Bills to lose. But I like the Brandon Staley pick. Who do you think right now would be front runner?
Brandon.
Yeah, Staley.
Right? I mean, they would have to be.
They always Kansas City. You beat Kansas City. I mean,
yeah,
this team was just a play away from being 3-0.
And that award always likes the coach that comes in from when the team was bad and
it's
makes it
coach
better.
Of the year in every sport is we expected you to be bad, but you weren't.
Yeah, pretty much. Or this coach specifically improved you from last year. And then I mean that wraps up all those players. But I do also want to look at our Super Bowl picks because that's kind of up there with those predictions. Will, you went with Tampa Bay and Kansas City year 2. How do you feel about that?
I don't want to push the self-destruct button yet in Kansas City because, there's still plenty of football left to be played. It's not looking too hot right now, but let's wait till November to get back on that.
All right. Will's going to postpone that answer till November. Jacob went Tampa Bay and Buffalo, which I think is still possible easily, right?
Yeah, it's a doable.
So wait a minute. Jacob's been roasting me about my comments about the Rams and Stafford and how they're the best team, but yet doesn't even have them. Didn't pick them to make the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's because Jacob's on the undefeated Tampa Bay tear. That's why Jacob's like Tampa Bay all the way, and that's the same conference. So that's definitely why. Jacob was on a 17-0 Tampa Bay thing, which is over. Oh, Josh went Tampa Bay and Buffalo, but I forget who they picked to win, but they picked opposites to win. Wow, Jake, I didn't know you went Tampa Bay and KC too.
I couldn't think of anything. When I did it,
it's a good pick. I mean, it's always going to be.
Actually, I did it at work. I'm like, I don't know.
Tampa Bay and Kansas City again.
These two.
I mean, we'll do the same. And then I just okay. I don't think mine's getting there. Mine's Green Bay and Tennessee.
Green Bay could if they,
Green Bay could.
if they don't have, if their injuries don't murder them.
Tennessee still has to prove something for sure.
Yes.
Tennessee still has to prove something, which is unfortunate, but our power rankings said that too. But yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to our picks then. Week 4, our picks. What's Thursday night game, Will?
Tomorrow. Terrible. Jacksonville at Cincinnati. I think that's a sweep
Thursday
for everyone.
Games. Yeah,
that should be a sweep for everyone.
Jacksonville at Cincinnati. That's a sweep for everyone. Yeah. Cleveland at Minnesota, which I think is an interesting game. I don't think this is like Cleveland all the way. Me and Jake both went with Minnesota. And I think Minnesota's looked great so far, to be honest. And I think everyone that plays Minnesota is kind of like a trap game, where it's like you might not expect. You see the record; it's not the best. But I think Minnesota's. I think you need to play Minnesota. Like you need to take them seriously. What do you think?
Minnesota's just a play or two away from being a 3-0 team. It's just
exactly
bad kicking.
They've played everybody tough.
Yeah, they have.
They haven't gotten blown out once. All their games have been within a field goal.
Yep.
And Kirk Cousins playing his best football of his career right now.
Week 1 was the overtime game, and I was disappointed with how that ended. I really thought Minnesota should have won that. And then Arizona, right? This past week. Or was that this past week or week 2?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Week 2, Arizona, that came down to a field goal and they missed it. So, yeah. Well, what about you? You, Josh, and Jacob chose Cleveland.
I chose Cleveland because if they're going to be without Dalvin Cook again, I mean, I know he's at this point like a day-to-day injury, but still, you have to stop Kareem Hunt and you got to stop Chubb. And if you stop those two, you still got to stop a pretty decent receiving core for Cleveland. And I'm not the biggest fan of the Viking secondary, so I had to go Cleveland on this one.
That's fair. The New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. Are we back in New Orleans? No, we're not, right?
Let's look.
Are we still in Jacksonville? I think we're still in Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a sweep.
Let's look.
Everyone chose New Orleans because the Giants 0-3. We're all thinking 0-4 after this game. I do think this is a game the Giants could win.
They do have this game right now in New Orleans.
According
to SeatGeek. And I can trust SeatGeek a lot because that's where I get my tickets from. So please, SeatGeek, if you're watching, love a sponsorship. Love it.
That was a great ad. Well, thank you. New Orleans at the Giants. Yeah, we all chose New Orleans. I don't know, though. I think this is a game the Giants need to win. This is a must-win for the Giants, to be honest, on their season. And I don't know. They haven't played terrible in the last 2 weeks, but they haven't won. So
they have to
probably be the only time I would pick the Giants
against the Falcons.
Yep.
And then I was the only one that picked the Falcons.
And that didn't go well.
This is the first game in New Orleans with fans since the divisional round of the playoffs. This place is going to be loud, and the Giants are going to be without both Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. So they're going to be absolutely screwed on offense.
And Blake Martinez on defense.
And I think they're missing another guard too. So like they're just absolutely Daniel Jones is going to be really screwed this game on offense because they're going to be bringing out the whistles. They're going to bring out all the stops on this one.
All right.
I gotta say good luck.
There it is. Washington at Atlanta. We all went Washington, even though Atlanta got their first win last week. It was against the Giants. And Washington. Oh yeah, Washington also beat the Giants. But yeah, everyone went Washington. Atlanta's a bottom 5 team in the league.
I think this is the game that Washington's front 7 finally wakes up.
Probably. I mean, it should have been every game so far, but probably. I'm gonna have to expect it every single week, pretty much, if it still doesn't happen. But I don't know. Matt Ryan's offensive line is not that good, right? Well,
They
I
got
don't.
some good.
Alex
I
Mack.
mean, they lost Alex Mack. He's
I
now
know.
in San Fran.
Yeah.
They still got some good tackles, but other than that,
I know.
they're just fighting for more so a draft spot than anything.
Houston at Buffalo. This is a conversation. Buffalo all the way.
Almost got
Detroit.
that Tyrod revenge game. So close.
Yeah. Well, what's the
Sliver.
timeline on Tyrod Taylor?
Should be back in 3 weeks, but
Oh yeah.
if Davis Mills suddenly decides to play good, then don't expect him to start again.
Detroit at Chicago. One of us. Wow. I haven't looked at these picks. I was the first one to put in my picks this week, so I haven't seen the picks since. So this is kind of shocking to me, to be honest with you. One of us chose Chicago, and that is Jacob. The rest of us went Detroit.
I think this is like Justin Fields actually is a legitimate good game this game.
But you chose Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you see them. They're not terrible.
No, see, that's the thing. I think they're the best of the 0-3 teams.
Like, they're not a terrible team. They can definitely get wins.
I think Jared Goff's going to have a good week this week. I thought about this game, and I didn't think about it for long, and I was like, you know what? I think that offense is actually going to click this week. I think that offense is going to look good. Jared Goff is going to have his best game of this season so far, and I think they come victorious after this game. Well, what do you think?
I'm trying to look up this one guy's name, Bears cornerback, Jalen Johnson. He's one of the best ranked corners right now. But that's really all that Chicago has for them right now. But I think, Dan Campbell's biting kneecap scenario is really going to cripple Matt Nagy's and the Chicago team. That was like 7 different sentences in one sentence.
Carolina at Dallas. 2 of us chose Dallas, Josh and Jacob. Us 3, we went Carolina. I mean, I think this is Carolina's biggest test so far, but I think that defense
Dallas's biggest test. Really.
I think it's Dallas's as well. Yeah.
Besides, I mean, the Tampa Bay game, fine.
That's true, but that was week 1.
I'd say this is Sam Darnold's biggest test because now he doesn't have Christian McCaffrey being able to hand the ball off to. What can he do with rookie quarterback in Chuba?
Rookie quarterback. Yep. Did you catch that, Will?
Yeah, rookie quarterback.
Yeah. Okay, you caught that. Okay.
Yeah, you're just locking yourself in that bathroom right now.
I love that. I love when Will makes those mistakes. Yeah. This is the biggest test for Carolina's defense as well. I think this is where Carolina's defense could prove themselves even further than they already have this season. They're a top defense. We call them that. Can we say that officially now? Shh. What do you think, Will?
Yeah.
That Will's okay. Will's on the train. Indianapolis at Miami. Wow, Jake, you went Miami. Josh went Miami. You're really you jumped off that Indianapolis train real quick, right? It's over.
Over.
Damn. I don't know. Well, what do you think about this game?
This is just a dumpster fire game. I mean, I don't really know where I want to go with this one. I kind of just tried to follow the flow for the most part. So Indianapolis was like the way I had to somehow manage it. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a very close game, but this isn't a game I'm going to watch, just solely on television.
I had no gut feeling about this game. I didn't know where to go. I was like, I just can't choose Miami yet. So I guess I was going to choose Indianapolis. Bank it on their defense or something. I don't know.
Indy's going to score no more than 10 points.
Wow. I'm saying I don't know. This is a tough game, honestly. Tennessee at the New York Jets. We all went Tennessee. Will's a Jets fan. That sucks. Have fun.
And they might be without A.J. Brown and Julio Jones this week.
It's possible.
But the Jets are going to be without Marcus May for 3 to 4 weeks because it's just a Jets thing to have. So.
And so you mean Derrick Henry's going for 200
Oh, gosh. That's rough.
I'm going to start the spread at 14.5.
14.5 what?
The spread.
Okay. Fair enough. Kansas City at Philadelphia. We all went Kansas City. I've heard people picking Philadelphia this
Why?
week. I don't know, because Kansas City defense.
No.
People have really, really lost like all hope in Kansas
Do you
City's
think
defense
that Jalen Hurts is going to be able to have a shootout
with Patrick Mahomes? No, I do not. I think
and Nick Sirianni's a moron. So all the stuff from week 1 that I was like, oh
yeah,
this is a pleasant surprise. Didn't see this coming. Yeah, turns out it was all just the Falcons.
Damn. Well, anything?
I got a comment on your comment. People are losing faith in the Kansas City defense. Was there any faith in the Kansas City defense to begin with?
I guess that's fair, but I don't know. I guess.
I don't think there was a time the Kansas City defense was ever good.
Arizona at the LA Rams. This is a heavy hitting game. Josh went with Arizona.
Homer pick.
Yeah, we all know that was just because of Kyler, right?
Yeah, that's all because of Kyler. And he has a Kyler jersey. Fake Kyler jersey, by the way. Should also mention that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Rams defense, this is the biggest test for Arizona. I just can't pick Arizona after the Jacksonville game from last week. Arizona looked bad.
Their defense is so bad. Like, you're going to tell me you're going to stop that Rams offense? Just tell me that with a straight face. You're not going to.
That's not the Arizona defense.
Yeah, Arizona defense isn't. I mean,
they didn't let Jacksonville do too much, but they let Jacksonville do too much, I guess.
It was Trevor's best game. It was Trevor's best game that he had.
Yeah, they should not have let Jacksonville do what Jacksonville did in that game. And I just didn't think they looked too impressive everywhere. But and if I'm not mistaken, DeAndre Hopkins had 3 receptions for like 21 yards?
4 catches for like 20 yards.
Yeah, that's
it's the rib injury.
Oh,
but I mean, he always plays hurt every week when he plays.
Right. Then we have Seattle at San Fran. Jake, you and Jacob chose Seattle. What do you think about that?
I just don't trust San Francisco in any way, shape, or form. I don't trust their coaching. I don't trust Jimmy G. I don't trust that their health is going to hold up. They don't have any really running backs, which is the whole scheme.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Jimmy G has to win the game against Seattle?
I don't know. Seattle's just like, there's something about Seattle this season that I don't like that much.
Oh, they're not a top team.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Like, they've definitely taken a step back.
But there's no reason that, like, they're just not like San Fran is just, they're so like self-involved with themselves, thinking they're good already. Like, that's the whole reason why they lost that game to Green Bay. It's like they Kyle Shanahan thinks he's a genius.
I mean, coming back from 17 down is pretty impressive for Shanahan's like a Shanahan team, nonetheless, without like a steady running back. But also, Seattle's defense is like the 32nd ranked defense. Jamal Adams signed a 4-year, $70 million contract to have 14 tackles, and that's it. Poverty player, poverty. And I got his jersey over here.
That's a revenge take from Will.
Poverty.
That's a revenge take.
2 1s is a steal. That's all I have to say.
Then we have Baltimore at Denver. Jake, you're the only one that went Denver, which I'm a little bit surprised by. Denver's 3-0. Baltimore is not. We've seen Baltimore do good
Baltimore
things.
Should be 0-3.
Yeah. We saw them beat Kansas City, and other than that, they haven't looked too impressive. I don't know. I went Baltimore personally because I don't think Denver's been that impressive. They've won against 3 teams, and those 3 teams combined are 0-9 this season. Denver's had a cakewalk of a season so far. I don't know. I think this is their biggest test, and I think that it catches them a little bit. This is definitely a trap game for Denver, but Jake,
I think it's a trap game for Baltimore. You know what? They think that they probably think they can win easy.
Well, okay, yeah, that's.
I just think also Lamar's a moron. So Denver at home. I don't trust.
Mile high.
I don't trust Lamar at all.
Plus, Lamar has to try running in like that altitude too. He's gonna get exhausted real
Plus,
fast.
the run defense for Denver is pretty good.
Mhm.
And they're without a lot of key pieces too, and they're still really good.
So I mean, as long as Teddy can be efficient, I think they win this game.
Well, what were you thinking on this?
I really pray that Denver gets it done. But at the same time, I mean, as you said, 0-9 against teams. And they've only put up like what, 26 points at like most.
Maybe.
It's not even like that's not really impressive to me. You should be able to put at least like 35 and over on these guys. They didn't really show me enough in those like first couple games as a test.
That's fair. We got Pittsburgh at Green Bay. And we all chose Green Bay, which is just if you told
Big
me
Ben's as mobile as a tree.
if we looked at this game before the season started, I think this would be a more competitive game. But
No,
I mean, I've lost all hope in Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh's
completely.
done.
Yeah.
Did you see? So, did anybody see the basically like game ending, the 4th and 10 at about basically the 4th and goal toward the end of the game,
In
where
Pittsburgh?
they throw just a little quick out to Harris in the backfield, trying to get the 12 yards to get a touchdown.
No.
Like, of all the options on the goal line, that basically like 4th and 10 to the goal.
Yeah.
You pick that. That tells me that Big Ben's elbow is shot. That you couldn't trust him to throw 10 yards.
I mean, Najee Harris had what? He had receptions this game, right?
Yeah, because they were all out of the backfield.
Like 14 or some crazy number like that.
Big Ben can't throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Like at all.
I have noticed they do a lot of wide receiver screen stuff too. Juju and some other guys.
They did last year too, but at least at some points he
threw the ball down the field.
threw the ball.
And plus, the Steelers have like 19 drops so far from receivers.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the Jets have 20, but that's still an incredible number through like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it is. Then we have our Sunday night game, Tampa Bay at New England. We all chose Tampa Bay except for me, and the only reason I chose New England is because I'm a Patriots fan, and I gotta have some dignity for myself this week. I expect fully to get our butts handed to us by Tom Brady, and it's not a good week, So I just threw it in there, New England. I'm up in picks anyway. I've been having a great season, so I was just like, you know what? For the dignity of myself, I'm just gonna say it and do it. I picked New England. Everyone else chose Tampa Bay. I fully expect Tampa Bay to go off. I expect Brady to have such a great game against us. And yeah.
So I thought I'm like, 55. I'm taking a lot of points here. Nope. Apparently not.
What?
Well, I thought I was like taking a pretty decently high number when I originally thought.
Oh, well, it's
55.
not for that game though.
Yeah.
It's for Monday night.
Oh,
I say
The
Tom
Raiders
Brady
at the Chargers Monday night.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Look
Yeah.
at me.
But it's okay. The Raiders at the Chargers Monday night. This is a tough game. This is a tough game.
I couldn't pick. I really couldn't pick.
Dude, I went back and forth.
This is difficult.
This is one of the more difficult games of the entire season. Josh and Will, you guys went Raiders. What are you thinking?
The Raiders are hot. They are hot, but the Chargers are hot. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this game's like a very low scoring game. I mean, we all are, 55 and over on the points, but would not be surprised if this game doesn't cap out over 40. I think it will just be very way too competitive on offense to where they can't really get anything going.
I think the Chargers get a couple key turnovers.
The Raiders defense has been tremendous this year, though. They've stepped up every time they've needed to.
A lot of it's just the front, though. That's the problem.
It is. You're absolutely right. I think the Chargers' lack of run game because I don't think Eckler's really done too much on the ground this season. I feel like a lot of his game is receptions and yards after that. But I think the Raiders can stop the run. But I don't know. They've stepped up against the pass, though, too. That's the thing. Trayvon Mullen's been great this season. Like, so much better than last season. I don't know if you remember last season, they would match him up against Travis Kelce, and he would get burned against the tight end. But he's had such a great season. He stepped up, made such great plays this season so far. I don't know.
See, what I was looking at was the Max Crosby and the Raiders.
Yeah, those guys
versus the Chargers O-line.
Mm-hmm. And then Chargers O-line.
Keep Herbert clean. They're going to win the game.
Yeah.
It's just because I trust the secondary enough of the Chargers to get some takeaways from Carr.
Mm-hmm.
I just this was so hard to pick.
It really
it's
is.
my two darlings, right?
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, the Raiders have really gotten it done in that time. In the time they need to step up in these games, Carr has been magic, and the rest of the team, those receivers have been great. And you don't know which receiver is going to catch the ball. They're like 4 deep in receivers, and they're out on the field, and everyone's catching the ball. They've played so well so far.
But see, the Chargers secondary is really good.
Yeah, I think the magic has to end at some point, and it might be this game. So
this is me talking myself into making it. I made a good pick. I really, really struggled.
Yeah, I mean, we all chose high scores, but yeah. So rest of us chose Chargers. That's 3 for the Chargers, 2 for the Raiders, and that's going to be a great game to cap off the week. So yeah, that's what it comes down to right there. Those picks, the graphic for those picks are going to be on our Instagram at To The House JD.
Hopefully Josh gets the records right for me this time.
Yeah. Josh gave him an extra 2 losses, which,
I predicted 34 games. I'm already ahead of you guys.
At least you got those wrong though. But yeah, so you could always take a look at our picks, our records, and everything like that on our Instagram at To The House JD. Along with everything else, we post a Monday night graphic, a Sunday night graphic, a Thursday night graphic for our picks as well. And yeah, so everyone, thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.